shortfalls that we're seeing, I think cuts are going to be the way that we're going to have to go.
And we're going to continue to follow the budget process for the city of Augusta as they work to try to beat that deadline.
Well, it's good to have the gang all here. Brad's back in the studio, and we're back here at Lake Lanier. Our Clark's Hill Skyview cam, Wjbf, was pointing to the sky, which is pretty, but doesn't show you the lake. So we have to go to Lake Lanier. This is where we normally would find our guy on the pontoon boat, right? He's given up the ghost. He'll be back in May. In the meantime, it's still a pretty view for sure. Look at this. Not a cloud to be found. I know this little guy up here, this looks like a bunch of party favors, right? No, it's not. That's cold front. That's right to our north, and it is moving on south, trying to sneak in as if we don't see it. We see you, cold front. This is going to bring some cooler air, but simply just absolutely great. There's a view of the two-state here. This is absolutely beautiful. You can't find a cloud outside. 67, our current temperature at Augusta, 66 in Evans, 62 in Aiken, 68 in Millen. Notice we're in the 60s. We hit 70 today, so that certainly is right on target. But notice this. This is the dew point, 19 degrees. It is the dew point here in the city, 20 in Thompson. This is very dry air. Can you feel your hands, how dry it is? Maybe your nose. This is the dry air that we're talking about, and this is why we're really going to start to get cold, especially as we get into Thursday morning. I don't think any frost tomorrow morning, but certainly Thursday morning. 59 at 6, and notice we're into the 50s. And it will continue to fall as we get into the next few hours here. A little frosty for Thursday morning. Temperatures between 30, maybe some upper 20s, and about 35 degrees. We'll talk more about our little cold snap here in just a few minutes. Jenny Brent.
Thanks a lot, Tim. McDuffie County schools are closed for the next week and a half due to the coronavirus. The superintendent says students learning face-to-face will continue doing so using Google Classroom. Students already learning from home are not impacted by the decision. Students will be able to go back to the classroom November 30th.
Parents are soon going to be able to enroll their students in Columbia County's new virtual learning academy. Wjbf Jefferson tells us what the learning option would mean for your child.
The coronavirus pandemic has brought new approaches to learning. Many schools have adopted virtual learning, and here in Columbia County, a new virtual school academy is giving middle and high school students a full-time virtual learning option run by the district starting next school year. School leaders say Columbia County's Virtual Academy, or CVA, will be different from the learn-at-home option we've seen in schools during the pandemic. Teachers will be specifically trained in digital learning and more equipped to help virtual learning students. Students will be able to choose from a full-time or part-time curriculum while having more flexibility in their schedule.
A student that is meant for it is going to thrive in the environment. They're going to enjoy the flexibility of it. And they're going to enjoy the personalized learning of it.
Parents can attend a live stream virtual meeting on December 7th to learn more about the Columbia Virtual Academy. Enrollment for the Virtual Learning Academy will start on December 8th and run until January 19th, 2021. In Columbia County, Wjbf Jefferson, WJBF, News Channel 6.
There's a new tool you can use to track COVID-19 risks during large events. That includes Thanksgiving. Researchers at Georgia Tech have created an online tool that tells you the possibility that someone at your event will have the virus and that person is possibly contagious. To use the map, all you have to do is click on a county that you're traveling to and then adjust the event size. It will show you the percentage likelihood that someone at the event will be infected with COVID-19.
We want to create these tools in order to help people make better decisions about their social plans, especially around the holidays as people want to get together and celebrate. We want to make sure that people are making the right decisions about gathering.
The event planning tool is updated every 4 hours with the most recent COVID-19 cases in every county across the country.
Some roads and bridges in the CSRA need serious repairs. That's the word from a new study. News Channel 6's Chloe Salsameda tells us what's being done to make this community safer.
This bridge here in Columbia County may look okay to the blind eye, but it's one of 30 in the CSRA that's considered deficient because of its condition and how much weight it can hold. It's now raising concerns about safety of bridges and roads in the community. Each day, thousands of people in the CSRA hit the road, traveling various streets and highways and over bridges. But some may not notice what's happening beneath the tires of their cars. A study by the National Transportation Research Group finds a quarter of county roads in the CSRA are in poor condition. and 12% of bridges are deficient. The 5th Street Bridge that stretches across the Savannah River is rated the worst. It's now being converted into a pedestrian walkway.
A lot of the top bridges, as far as structurally deficient on that rating system in the report, are either under construction or have plans to have improvements made to them.
The Georgia Department of Transportation heads most of the state's road repair projects. They admit it's difficult to tend to all bridges in the state, but they make it happen.
There's like 14,000 bridge structures in the state of Georgia. GDOT provides inspection reports, whether it's a 2 or 3 year basis, on all those structures.
So why are so many bridges and roads in need of repair? Kyle Collins with GDOT notes they were built decades ago when there were less people and different types of cars on the road.
And we're slowly but surely, with the funding that we have, state and federal, we're replacing those and getting them up to modern design standards, because typical vehicle and the needs and the traffic volumes on a lot of these roads are a lot different than they were in the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
GDOT isn't the only group tackling this issue. Augusta asked for the public's help in identifying problems on the road with its My Augusta 311 app. People can log on and pinpoint exactly where a pothole is and alert the city.
Let's say it's a pothole that's on a road. It goes to our engineering department. The engineering department acknowledges it. They assign the work, and then they gather the appropriate resources, and it's scheduled to be completed. That customer is able to track the process the entire way through, and then once it is closed out, they'll receive a message that it has been completed.
A community-wide effort to address these problems and make roads safer for everyone in the CSRA. Chloe Salsameda, WJBF, News Channel 6.
With this year's Masters in the books, there's a move tonight to honor the men on the bag. The Sandhills neighborhood is famous as the birthplace of many Masters caddies, and Augusta city leaders are looking at a proposal to recognize some of them. Commissioner Bill Fenoy wants the city to put up a marker listing the names of all the Augusta National caddies who carry the bag of a Masters champ.
We only have maybe 1 or 2 that are still living. So I'd like to see us remember the caddies that carried the bag for the winning golfer.
Fenoy proposes the median on Fleming Avenue near the Sandhills Community Center as a possible location for the marker.
A new report from the VA shows the suicide rate for veterans is almost twice as high as the civilian suicide rate.
A look at what lawmakers are doing to bring more resources to veterans when we return.
Internet crooks have been keeping busy during this pandemic, that's for sure. A new study shows online dating scams are on the rise this year. People are spending more time at home, many joining those dating apps. Well, socialcatfish.com says scammers prey on those who have had personal tragedy or who have lost a spouse. Scammers also steal photos from social media and create fake accounts.
I guess the man had sent money to the person, and they had been talking for several months. He was in love. And, you know, I've actually gotten, like, threats and stuff from people because they're like, you had something to do with this.
She says one of the victims even sent a scammer $13,000.
Still to come, Chief Meteorologist Tim Miller has a look at your forecast.
Also ahead, Clemson and USC may not be competing on the football field this year, but they are squaring off in another way. That story coming up.
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live Viper 6.
So your choice is hot chocolate or hot apple cider. Which one is it, y'all?
Chocolate.
Hot chocolate, Jenny?
Always hot chocolate.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
How about you?
Probably hot chocolate, but apple cider is going to, it's borderline here, especially when you're looking at this picture of their Jiffy Lube Skyview.
Good weather for it.
I know, right? I mean, you can just see it, just sipping on the porch.
Beautiful.
Watching the sunset. It is absolutely gorgeous. Well, 67 is our current temperature. Look at that. McCormick already down to 59. Here we go. Aiken at 60. Sylvania at 64. So once that sun sets, the temperatures will set right along with it for sure. Burr, it's about the best weather headline I could use here. Cold nights ahead, really tonight into Thursday morning. 30s with some upper 20s, not tonight. but really into Thursday morning. Some of the colder locations could see upper 20s for sure. Tropical storm Iota, remember this was a massive hurricane making landfall over Nicaragua. It's now almost towards the end here, almost into the Pacific, but it's going to get hung up in these mountains and I think rain itself out. But it's been a real major player, of course, for our friends to the south. Wind speeds of 60 miles per hour, moving west at 12. I think it gets caught up in the mountains here. It just basically will ring itself out, which is bad. That means it'll just rain itself out, which could be 30 plus inches or more of rain. All right, let's head closer to home. This is tomorrow morning with our futurecast. Cold front that's coming through tonight as well to our south. Beautiful sunshine tomorrow, but noticeably cooler. We're going to be in the 60s. Most of us may not even get out of the 50s tomorrow. That's noontime. It's really, really pretty, but then high pressure sneaks in overhead further towards our north. There's tomorrow night about 7 o'clock or so. And the winds will die down, and I think that's when we're going to get really cold tomorrow, and the potential of some frost. As that high pressure moves off towards the east on Thursday, we'll start to get a southeast wind. So we're going to warm up a little bit for Thursday. So really Thursday morning will be the coldest day, and then we'll warm up. So it'll be cold, though. We're talking 20s, I think, north of Atlanta. Our northern mountains, certainly in the 20s. Same thing with parts of the upstate of South Carolina, North Carolina. And I also think that some of our northern viewing area could see some upper 20s. It will remain dry, though. No doubt about that until we get to early part of next week when I think we pick up a little moisture and a chance of a shower. Tonight, 36 degrees. That's in the city. Some of the colder locations could see a 34 or a 33. 60 tomorrow is all we're going to do from that thermometer. It will be cooler than we should be for this time of year. The breeze won't be as breezy as today was. 32 tomorrow, Thursday morning rather. 32, that's freezing. In some of our upper 20s. Wouldn't surprise me. 62 Thursday, and then there's our little warm-up Friday, and the weekend looks to be spectacular. Warmer for Monday with a chance of showers, and right now, Thanksgiving, looking ahead here in our 10-day forecast, 69 degrees with just a chance of a shower as of now. That's your forecast.
Tim, thank you. The annual Blood Bowl between